morning, everybody. Welcome to Entrepreneurship Impact. So my name is Charles. I'll be your host for today. So today we are very lucky to actually have Dennis, founder of Grand Connections, to share with us his entrepreneurship journey. So a little background about what Grand Connection is about. Grand Connection is a digital O2O company that is specializing in online to offline digital strategies for clients that is looking to scale up and digitalize their businesses. And today, Dennis will be sharing with us more on how we can be creative in today's market. So I shouldn't steal the limelight further from him. Maybe Dennis can share with us more about how he started his journey, how to be more creative in today's market. So I'll pass the time to Dennis.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. Great pleasure here to actually share a little bit about my story and how we can work on things together. And I think in this world, it's not about just working on ourselves and trying to excel, but rather it's about how we can leverage on each other and also how we can work together to have a common goal, as well as trying to pool the resources together. I think this is why this should be the market sentiment as of now, and also how we can all become better than we were last time, and how businesses can be done way better than previously, especially after COVID, or should I say still in the midst of COVID, in fact. Yeah. So how do I start entrepreneurship? Actually, it goes a long way back, a long time ago, at least about, 12 years. So at the point of time, I was an Air Force regular, and I was trying to find different ways of revenue. At that point of time, it was called income. So many people that I know, they're out there doing businesses. They are actually having a life of their own, and they are doing the things that they like. So I was also looking for different sources of income, because I feel that at a point of my life, my family needed more growth. I also needed more growth. So eventually, I went into different industries. I went into sales, I went into training, I went into health industry, I went into financial investment and stuff like that. And eventually I realized that actually the only really way to become better is to be in control of yourself and also be in control of a business. And that was exactly why I started entrepreneurship back then. Yeah, so fast forward, 12 years. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you started 12 years ago as you left Air Force regular to start your entrepreneurship journey. So because as an Air Force regular, most regulars have a very stable job, very stable income. Most of them will start to settle down. So what made you decide to really step away from this stable job and stable income to pursue something that is very unexpected, unpredictable, and something that is very new for yourself at that point in time? Like maybe what or maybe who is that motivating factor that pushes you to embark on this journey?
I wasn't as brave as many people thought I would be. So when I started entrepreneurship, I actually had a couple of side hustles going on after I left Air Force, after I left the military. And then eventually I like all regulars, or like everyone who had a stable job, stable income, they wouldn't just jump straight into something that is, I wouldn't say treacherous, let's just say unstable. And so eventually I also took on a corporate job in an oil and gas company. At the point of time, I was holding my skills for entrepreneurship. And because of the fact that it's quite hard for someone who is a very fixed mindset to having a growth mindset immediately. So it took me a while. But those few years while I was in outside corporate, and also I was also doing my side business back then, I actually developed and met a lot of people that actually made me grown from a little bit of entrepreneur into something what I am and of time, which I can eventually find job. And then after that, I started to go full on or in full focus in businesses, in entrepreneurship. So yes, it wasn't easy, honestly. A lot of changes needed to be done, a lot of sacrifices, and most importantly, a lot of support needed. And when I mean support needed, also comes from the family, also comes from people that we know, and the people around us. I was very, very lucky to have a couple of mentors. Not actually not a couple, quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot of mentors for me. They were along the way over this decade, and some left me. However, some are still sticking on with me currently and grooming me to what I am today. Honestly, without them, I don't think I can become what I am today based on my character and also based on my lack of experience or lack of knowledge in this business world. So these mentors, they actually have a wealth of experience, but they are willing to guide me along, and they were there every single time. Well, like life, businesses are the same, up and downs, rise and fall. But I wouldn't think my falls or my rise are hugely appallable. However, I was able to get back faster than I was previously every single time due to the credits of all these mentors. The support from family was also immensely great. And that being said, I think my wife, my children, my parents are also supporting me all the way in terms of morally. And I guess when it comes to entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur himself or herself needs to be very strong. I think in this case, my family members are stronger than I do. They believe me when I don't believe myself. They believe me in whatever I plan out, even though I knew some wouldn't work out. But it's always how we make things different. It's also how we achieve our goals because of all these people. Yeah.
So, what actually made you decide to go into creative market? Is because there's so many businesses out there, and you tried many different businesses. Why eventually a creative industry?
Being a regular, I was starting near creative, honestly. And if you ask me to design stuff, ask me to no, I can't do that. I'm someone who has been talking to machines and hoping the machine will talk back, but gratefully not in the very near future. So I was from engineering background, and engineering background, like I said again, is very fixed. Everything is very process type, and it was actually really hard. Yeah. Why I wanted to go into this creative part of things or even part of the industry is because I feel a lot of things can be found out there. Like tangible stuff, physical items, all this can be found everywhere. And we found everywhere. You can find it in internet. Some people will be doing it. Some people will be selling it. They just repackage it in a different way, and it turns out the whole thing. So physical sale of products, I think that is something very needed as of now. However, if I decide to become one of them to go into it, then I don't think I'm any different from the rest. Therefore, when I started Grand Connections, or a couple of companies before that, we were all doing digital marketing, we were doing digital branding, we were trying to get into a digital space where we can use software or even use the internet to help businesses to grow, to increase their revenue, and most importantly, they can improve their social presence, and then moving on forward from there. So Grand Connections, in fact, if you ask me, I am more into branding consultation, which incorporate all these all these digital tools, as well as some of the tech tools that I want to help to increase productivity for all these businesses, not just local, including globally as well, regionally. Yeah. So I'm not someone who is keen into having a lot of overheads. Yeah. Yes, we do have a couple of employees. Do have a small little cute home office, and most importantly, a lot of tools that we can get and to utilize for clients. They are mostly online. Yeah, some of them are patent, some of them are self-made. Most of them, in fact, they can be found on the internet. So if you ask me, can someone duplicate Grand Connections? Yes, I think it's totally duplicatable. And when I say duplicatable means someone can just take my idea and then do it on their own, or I can have someone who is on the same path as me, and he can take the whole system and duplicate, and I can supervise, or I can help them along in the same, let's just say, same process, But most importantly, I feel Grand Connections is something that I really want to use this to help. Now, help who? Help individuals to improve themselves in terms of branding, in terms of character development, and also if they want to become an entrepreneur, I know I might not be the best person, but I can use my experience and help. Secondly, Brand Connection is also a brand consultancy and career and also business consultancy, which we actually help businesses to improve their branding as well, but on different aspects. In terms of their offline and online outreach and their online and offline exposure. And that being said, my newest project will be on productivity, and I uses AI to help increases their productivity in such sense. So when I first started entrepreneurship, it was really all about money lah. Yeah, I think it's very obvious for everyone. But as time goes by, I realized money is something that we need to live our practical life. But the purpose, the sole purpose of having a business is to really help people. And the more people we help, I think the money will come back later part, But it's always about the intrinsic satisfaction and also the intrinsic motivation to actually push a business in the right direction to achieve the right results. Yeah, so I don't believe in really shortcuts. I don't believe in, you pay this amount of money, you get this amount of this, you do certain stuff, you get back something. Sometimes things come back in a shorter process. Sometimes things come back in a longer way it's supposed to be. When it comes back to you, you'll all still feel very satisfied for whatever effort and hard work that we put in previously. Yeah, so if you ask me, these are just some of the thoughts that why I started Grand Connections. Yeah.
I definitely agree with the part regarding it's always about giving value to people, then the money will come. Because when you were sharing this, it brings me back to when I first started entrepreneurship as well. It's always money first to survive, but then the money is always short term, and then it will disappear. But when I changed my mindset into something to give to people and help to people, the money that is coming back is, even though like you mentioned, it's not instant, but it will come back manifolds. So I think many entrepreneurs out there, when they first started entrepreneurship, definitely they'll be thinking of money first. It's not a wrong mindset, because it takes time to change from the employee fixed mindset to something that what can we do to give value to people. So I believe this is something that a lot of entrepreneurs can learn from Denise, how we are able to start making more by giving more first. So just now Denise mentioned about about a term that I feel most entrepreneurs might find it very new . He mentioned this thing called O2O, online to offline. Maybe Denise can share more about what this O2O Grand Connections is doing.
Okay. O2O marketing, online to offline and offline to online marketing is basically helping businesses, retail businesses, or businesses who have no idea or little idea on how to get into the online space. And this is my specialty for Grand Connections. My crew and I, we mainly want to help retail businesses to really jump out of this trench and jump into the bandwagon of the digital space, where their businesses can still survive even without a retail space or a physical store, because everyone is on their mobile phone, everyone is on their devices. And I think the whole COVID worldwide has changed on how businesses do their daily stuff at the same time, and it also changed how consumers spend as well. So one of the main role is of Grand Connections and myself is to actually help offline businesses jumpstart into the online space, by having a very nice yet affordable and easy way to get them online, and then they can start to sell. And I have to say, the process is very easy for us, but maybe to them it will take a lot of time. But when they pass this process to us, we are able to do what we can deliver. At the same time, these businesses, they can also continue to spend the time and effort to make the product that they want it to be out in the market, which is to benefit their special niche of clients and also their own prospects and customers. So this is what I currently doing. And with that, I also go into the branding part of things, the consultancy for all these businesses. And for those businesses who are already online, I think some of them might have an idea on how to start already, but they don't know how to push their business to another envelope, another level. So this is where I'm quite sure a lot of businesses are like that. They are able to do that. They're able to provide this service to push online services to another level. I'm quite sure there's a lot of it. But a little bit different of what I do versus them is that I'm able to forecast. I'm able to see their businesses and their special niche and how we can push it further. I don't think this is a very special thing, but I feel my experience and my different jumps in different industries, I'm able to lump together. And currently, together with Entrepreneurship Impact and other businesses, we form a very strong network, a strong alliance together, where we all share information and we can all, roughly see what's the correct strategy for the current market sentiments and also the current economy situation. It's pretty sad for the past how long? Maybe about 4-6 months. How many big businesses has started to crumble down. The latest news was Pizza Hut, recently was Victoria's Secret, and there are many other more that we could mention. But that being said, I wouldn't think they didn't try their best, but it's just that they just couldn't keep up with times, like how Nokia was being exited from the phone industry. So my job in Grand Connections, or even my mission, is to really help these businesses to push them forward, whether is it an online or offline space. Yeah. But talking about the offline space itself, the part where I just had something new was to really using AI and increase their productivity and also increase their revenue and make their business longevity longer.
I think in today's digital world, most companies are focusing mainly on online or offline. So most businesses that are offline, I think they are suffering now, like those companies that you mentioned, big companies that we don't expect them to close down because they are focusing on offline or online only, I feel. So I think by actually having this O2O concept, it's a very creative thing in the market because you are channeling traffic that you used to have to something new, so that in case anything happens to either channels, your income will still be sustained. I think if let's say Pizza Hut has a very strong online base, even though they close down their retail stores, they might still be surviving. I believe they only close down their stores. So probably they are still doing online as well. Same as for all those big fashion brands as well. So coupling with brand consultation, I think this will be a very good edge for most businesses, as just using tools to do O2O, they might not know the game plan because it's something new. I think this is where how Grand Connections can help a lot of businesses to, in a way, digitalize, to flow traffic online to offline, offline to online. I think this is something that's very creative for most entrepreneurs, especially in today's market. I think this is something that is not commonly heard, this O2O concept. So definitely, I think Grand Connections during this period of time aims to help many businesses to transform, to have a better branding, to online, to offline, all these things. But before COVID-19 and during COVID-19, what are the changes that Grand Connection has made? Because COVID-19 is something that we don't expect. It is suddenly. Yeah, so what is Grand Connection doing before COVID-19, and how did Grand Connections change and adapt during COVID-19? Maybe Denise can share with us more.
It's very interesting because, to be honest, the Grand Connections, my company, I only started maybe about 2-3 months, and it was during this COVID situation. And before that, I was together with 3 other partners in a community-based marketing platform, and we have been there for like 2.5 years. So this community marketing platform, they were basically we were 4 very promising entrepreneurs, and all of us just wanted to start up something and trying to grow that particular platform to help businesses and also help individuals to grow in many, many different ways. But of a recent COVID case, I have decided to part of things which I feel it will be more in line with my own purpose and also my own business, which I always wanted to have. And in this case, Grand Connection was just born just a few months back. A lot of people ask me, hey, now the businesses are so bad, the situation is so bad, why do we want to start an agency or start a company currently at this point? I told them straight in the face, it is not about what we start, it is also not when we start, but it's rather how we can help when we start. So when I first started Grand Connections, it is really, really all about businesses. Trying to survive is one. That is not a main priority of mine, but rather trying to see how I can make my skill set and make my experience outreach to as many businesses as I can to actually improve their life, their longevity of the business. So if you ask me what have I done differently for the past few months, I think I made a very big step to come on and started a brand new team. And this team, I have also expanded into Malaysia and Philippines in just 2 months' time. And my approach is as simple as all I want is to help them to do their O2O that I mentioned just now. Yeah, but recently, just maybe about a month ago, I also ventured into the AI part of things, where can physically and offline and online help their businesses. So, to be frank, I don't feel that it's very tough for me to start Grand Connections for now, because I still feel everyone is still looking for help somewhere, somehow, or even some solutions or some ideas on how to improve themselves and also their businesses. Yeah, so I think there is no better time for me to start Grand Connections, honestly.
Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, because most businesses, when they first start out, it's a very rocky path. They face a lot of challenges. I think definitely the experiences that you gain over the past few years has helped these companies start up more easily and smoothly. So, having said that, what are some of the future plans you have for Grand Connections?
My future plans for Connections are not as of concrete for now. However, I have two main goals. The first one is actually trying to expand my team and also trying to make sure that my team members are independent enough to run their own consultancies. Okay, they don't have to start a company or rent a hotel, rent a office space and whatsoever. They can do everything at home. And most importantly, they are equipped with the skill sets that they can go out, speak to clients very confidently using what we have done or what I have built up for the past few months, or maybe next year or going on forward. And these tools, I wouldn't hold it, but rather I will just let them share. I will share with them and let them utilize it to help many other businesses. Yeah. So I'm looking at about by year end, I'm hoping to go into different regions of Southeast Asia, and from there we can expand a little bit more. Yeah. And you don't have to be under Grand Connections. It can be their own entities. Because to me, Grand Connections is me and also my current team. But in the future, I want my team members to branch out and let them expand on their own and let them establish their own presence in their own branding and also in their own locality, wherever it is at in Southeast Asia, even in the States, or even in the western side of the world. My second plan for Great Connections is something that I'm looking for long term, really, really long term. I'm talking about maybe about 5 to 10 years down the road. I intend to have a potential listed company in the future. Yeah, and while we are doing that, I want to also make sure that my Great Connection will be a social enterprise by then. Yeah, by when the time comes, it will be really more of a purpose-driven rather than a profit-driven enterprise. And that being said, we are able to give out grants. We are able to give out monetary opportunities, benefits to businesses who, or even individuals in the future, to actually grow them or to strengthen them. Yeah. So by the time comes, then I would like to also have a space of my own. I wouldn't say a building, but let us say it's I don't know what's the right word to use, but basically I want to have a home, okay, a home or a what's the word?
Soho, small office, home office.
No, like okay, let's just say a big office, okay, a big office where everyone can come and gather and talk and network and stuff like that. You know, just that by the time 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, easily COVID is all over, and then we are all back on the physical aspect again. You know, then we can all get together. Yeah, I want to have a common space. I want to have a common space to let everyone gather together and talk about things with no agenda. I think that is my end goal.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. As you are sharing all the plans you have, starting to visualize all these things. I can see myself in the common space. Hopefully, not hopefully, definitely this thing will happen one day. I definitely believe it. Actually, I have one more questions to ask you because under your quote, you mentioned about this thing, which I find it very interesting and very curious to know about. You mentioned that whether you can or can't, you are both right. This quote that you mentioned. So what do you mean by that? Maybe you can elaborate more.
This quote, if you find it on the internet, I think it's everywhere, honestly. But it was the first sentence when I first started entrepreneurship out of Air Force. And there was this particular mentor who told me, who was asking me about how's my sales target and, you know, how do I want to do my businesses and who am I talking to and whatsoever. At the point of time, I think because of the lack of stable income, that kinds of makes me fear a little bit. And when I fear because I was really unable to provide for the family as and when I want to, I was unable to buy the things that I want in points of need. So I was very negative. And when I was negative, whatever question he asked me, I was like, difficult lah, I cannot lah, you know, I don't know lah. I remember I was very negative. And then immediately he actually said, you have come into this space of entrepreneurship. You're on your own. You are no longer an employee. You are no longer having a stable paycheck. Right now, you generate your own paycheck. And you are the spearhead for your business. You're a spearhead for your family. If you fall, everyone's fall. If you're negative, everything becomes negative. However, if you become positive, then things will turn out better. And then he ends the whole session, end of this small little session with me, with this quote: whether you can or you cannot, you are both right. So it really brings me to the part where when I was always motivated, when I know that everything I do can make it, I definitely can, because the law of attraction works. And sometimes, if you realize when you have small little thoughts in your head and say, yeah, I think today I can't go for this appointment because I got this, and then you realize, I actually really didn't go for the appointment. Or when you think that some deals won't go through, and we have this slightest thought, it really become really gone off the charts, and you can't get back the deal anymore. So this sentence actually only embeds the amount of positivity that you should have in your life, and also we should always steer towards the positive side of things. Because whether you can or cannot, you're both right, because you still can make it, whatever you think, whether you think negatively or positively. So I am actually the NN guy. NN means naturally negative. But throughout these years of what we are doing, that being said, I'm also a father of 2, and I've been in marriage for almost about 20 years. So I still need to be very practical in terms of stuff. So I normally turn my negative thoughts into something practical, and then when it can work out, it becomes positive. So in the front, maybe I'm super positive, but right in my heart, I'm quite sure some things can work out, some things cannot work out. So sometimes we also need to know when to say no. Sometimes we need to know when to say yes. But generally, if you ask me, this sentence strikes me even till now, for the past 10 years at least. Yeah. And every time I see this sentence, I realize that sometimes when I have negative thoughts, negative results comes, which is not a good thing. Yeah. So being positive is very important, no matter which height our lives at. Yeah.
So to be honest, it's my first time hearing this quote lah. But after what you mentioned, I think that's very true, because sometimes when we are doing entrepreneurship, when we first started out, we tend to be very positive. That's where we start to gain all the positive results as we start. But when we start to face the first rejection, that's where we are affected. And in the future, when there are more potential clients, we start to fill ourselves with both positive and negative thoughts. And if the negative thoughts are more than the positive thoughts, usually the results will be negative.
Yep.
And I definitely agree with this sentence after what you mentioned. We are right in our own ways, but whether the results is right is what we determine, whether is it what we really wanted. And I feel it always is good to be positive. I mean, it's sometimes it's a bit tough, but I feel that sometimes being more positive will help. But then again, being overly positive might not help as well, because everything, if you are yes man to everything, sometimes we might achieve the results that we don't want as well. So I think this is something that entrepreneurs have to balance. Yeah, so I think today definitely we have a very wonderful sharing from Denise. Maybe before we open the Q&A sessions to the audience, Denise, do you have any more things that you'd like to share with other entrepreneurs?
Let's work hard together.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a very powerful statement to every entrepreneur, because in today's world, it's always about leveraging and helping each other. I think that's how Entrepreneurship Impact is being born as well, to help entrepreneurs share interesting stories and experiences so that we avoid certain pitfalls. To the audience, if you all have any questions, you can feel free to ask Denise or anybody. We will now open this Q&A session.
Maybe I ask first lah. Okay, so regarding, I think I understand is your success is a part of it is based on the mentorship you have gained through your life lah. So I just want to ask, because a lot of young entrepreneurs, right, correct? Actually, they don't really understand mentorship. They just, I feel So I just want to ask, how do you select the right mentor, and how you determine that the mentor is someone that you can invest in? Because there's a lot of people selling mentorship program around the whole digital space. Okay, so what I want to say is like how you find your mentor. Yeah, that would be, I think, a good question for all the entrepreneurs to learn. Yeah.
This is something I've been looking around And I think this is the worldwide phenomenon currently. They pay money to causes and stuff like that, and they start to follow somebody online, never get in touch with them personally, but only through Zoom or even through their own course curriculum and stuff. In fact, I have tried to become an online mentor, before Grand Connections, but I realized it doesn't work. Honestly, it doesn't work. Because the online mentorship will only work when the mentee starts to work hard for it. And out of 1,000, only a couple of you made it, certain amount of percentage. I do not want to say numbers here. And many online mentors, okay, they might have different agenda, different purpose. But if you ask me, my mentors were all closer with each other, or we get to know each other through non-COVID times, And I think most importantly, on how to find one is really about how you can click with them. That's one. Number two is about, does this mentor sees you in a different light? Different light as in sees your ability, sees your talent, and sees your future more than you see in yourself. That is why these mentors that I had, different phases of my life, I have different kind of mentors. There are just a couple of you that actually followed me throughout, or should I say I stick with them throughout. These are the people that actually believe you more than you believe yourself. And also, all of us share the same mission and same purpose. Yeah. So, one, whether you can click with them. Two, whether do they believe in you. And three, do you all share the same purpose? These are the three main characteristics or main attributes that you should find in a mentor. Yeah.
Understand. I think I got you. I think what I understand from this is like sometimes mentor may be nearer than you expected. So yeah, I understand it's not relevant that in the digital space we can get a mentor. Maybe someone near to you maybe can guide you also. Yeah. So
well, there are also very positive examples of people getting their mentors through online. If you put it like that, Tony Robbins is self-proclaimed mentor of mine, because of the positivity and stuff like that, and the things that he pitched, the things that he go on stage and tells people, and how he lives his life. I think is a very good example of mentorship. But honestly, how do we get to them? I think it's different. Yeah. So when I say mentorship, it's really about the ones that really go to you and tells you what you should do right and what you should not do wrong.
Okay.
If there's a time that you are doing things wrong and they tell you up front and tell you to really stand the buck up and also do the right things, I think that is the kind of mentor that I'm talking about. Yeah.
I got one more question. Sorry, I have so many questions.
No worries.
One more question is about, like, recently a lot of entrepreneurs are very techy. They like, I just want to maybe learn from you the digitalized process. Like, no need to be very detailed. Or like the digitalized process. Like example, they feel that sell web page can get like 1,000 people buy their product and all this stuff. so these are something that people really don't really understand. Is the concept of digitalization. So I believe you can give some guide, like example tips on how to make it better. Yeah.
Make it better as in what? How can people sell digital services?
Maybe digitalize the business, then to get more visibility and all these things. Because people always thought that I open one website, open one LinkedIn account, then many people will come and find me for business already, which I think is a bit crazy. But I mean, there's the path everybody went through. So I just want to learn from, like, for you, like, creatively, like how you make yourself stand out from others people. Yeah. So, I mean, just I can really. Yeah, thanks.
The whole digital world trying to be strong in the digital presence is actually not an easy feat. Why? Because every tool or every platform in the internet, they have different purposes. Okay, like example, Facebook addresses a different crowd, Instagram too, TikTok as well. Having a LinkedIn profile makes you exposed to different kind of people, different kind of corporations. Having a website is like just showcasing your product and services or even yourself. But if you are not doing a whole ecosystem link throughout, it doesn't work individually. Yeah. So therefore, one of the main tools that I give to my clients, or when I talk to prospects, I tell them that whatever it is, you need to have everything, but you can focus on a couple. Okay? But ultimately, it's about having the ecosystem of yourself or of your brand, of your businesses in every single platform. Okay, how much time and effort then we'll need to prioritize and strategize based on how much time is needed in that particular platforms that is linked to your niche or linked to your business and branding. Yeah. So example, today we can sell durian. If we sell durian in Instagram, it works perfectly fine. Facebook, perfectly fine. Website, definitely yes. TikTok, possible. In fact, right now TikTok is the trend. But if you sell on LinkedIn, it's awkward, isn't it? But what if I want to sell? I want to sell formal suits. Formal suits. If I sell on TikTok, possible? Yes, it does, because TikTok is very wide range, it's very trendy. But if I want to sell on Instagram, well, depending on what's your branding, it's like, if I want to sell on LinkedIn, definitely works. But ultimately, where does the client comes and find you? You still need to have a website. Okay, if you put on Facebook, your outreach will be very short unless you do Facebook ads. And even if you do Facebook ads, everyone anywhere can do their suit in their own locality. But what makes you different that they wouldn't mind paying you Singapore dollars or even a little bit higher in USD to measure their size digitally and then ship or fly their suits from Singapore to their country. So there are many angles to think about for different businesses and different niche. Then we can see how much effort is needed and how we can strategize better. So this is what I think.
Understand. Yeah, I think I learned a lot. So it's not as easy as just set up a website and open one LinkedIn account.
No, it's definitely more than that.
Okay. And there's a lot of work. I understand.
Yes, a lot of work. A lot of work. So a team will be needed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks so much for the question. So I think Denise touched on two key points that entrepreneurs can take note, especially those that is going to digital business. I mean, generally, we need a mentor. Mentor is everywhere else. I mean, just that whether we can spot one or not spot any. But I believe that mentors don't have to be one mentor. It can be multiple mentors, because different mentors will always give different perspective, and this will help us more. Yeah. And one important thing about digital business is usually we don't choose one channel. It's the same as the mentors part. We don't choose one mentor. The more mentors we have, the more it benefit us, as long as you don't confuse us. Same as for digital channel as well. The more channel we have, the better is our exposure. But we shouldn't be confused with too many channels. If not, the results is always different. Okay, thanks Tony so much for the question. Is there anyone else? Anybody would like to ask any questions?
Dennis,
Hi.
my question is, as you mentioned earlier about the adapting to the environment from offline to online, do you have any possible holistic approach on brand connection?
For myself or for others?
For yourself.
Holistic approach from offline to online.
Yeah, adapting to the environment.
Relating to environment.
Yeah, to the virtual environment.
Oh, virtual environment.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say environment, I thought it's the
yeah,
environment.
it's quite.
Holistic approach. I'm already in the digital space. I don't even have my own office. Only my home work office.
Oh.
And my team are actually in Singapore in their own home, in their own comfort of their room, and also one in Philippines at couple in Malaysia. So this whole concept is not just a remote work from home concept, but rather is a work online concept. And if you realize everyone is doing that, but what is different for Grand Connections, what we want to do is to build a business out of the online space. And then from there, we bring it to the offline. Yeah. A lot of people has been doing that. Yeah. But setting up a business right in the middle of COVID and progressing to this path, my approach is not going to be easy, but definitely I want to use this and make sure that I'm one of the few forefront or what we call pioneers to really use this chance to prove to people that actually, a business can be just started with an idea through online platforms and then going into the offline space. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I answer your question, but in this sense, I feel holistically it's about getting more people involved together, and then we can grow more ideas and branch out to different aspects of life and also different aspects of our businesses, and most importantly, different aspects of the world.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. So definitely with digital, I think it's much more easier to do international business without having a physical office at all the countries. I think it's one good thing about digital business. And I think this is the reason why most entrepreneurs are looking at starting their own digital business. Yeah, but definitely it won't be as easy unless you have experiences like what Denise has to make his business much more smoother when he started. Yeah, so I believe we have come to the end of Entrepreneurship Impacts. I would like to thank everybody for joining us today. Actually here, Denise, and also congratulate yourself on hearing or adding another experience or gaining another experience that you don't have to physically go through it yourself. I think this is what Entrepreneurship Impact is all about. Learning experiences, gaining experiences without going through, like I mentioned, the pitfalls. So we have a new person that joined. Hi, welcome. Yeah, we are about to end the session soon. So no worries. Join us next time for our next Entrepreneurship Impact session. We are having our Entrepreneurship Impact, in case you don't know, every Saturday at 11 a.m. So join us next time and hear more entrepreneurs sharing about their unique experience. So if you'd like to hear more of our contents, listen to our past sharers, do subscribe and like and follow our social media pages as well. If not, I thank everybody for your time today. Thank you and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye.